Hello, everyone. My name is Roy Cornwall. It is the 3rd of May, which is a Friday, 2024 at 9:06 at night. And all the episodes that I've had with the Lord, they stem from one thing. And I have to make sure you know this. Um, you have to surrender to the Lord. That's the word for it. Tell him that you can't solve all the problems. I'm not doing well, and even if I was doing well, I would still, you know, surrender to you because you know the best way, and you got my back, right? Basically, I can't do it. Surrender to him. If you're in tears, that'd be good when you say this, right? And when that happens, you become a child of God when you do that, sealed forever. The only one to break that seal is God, and He isn't gonna. Right? So I know. Listen, for me, I had a real problem with trying to bring another entity into my brain. I was a very independent person, right? You guard your wallet, you guard your brain, you guard, and I had a real problem with bringing surrendering. But finally, I did, and that's when everything started happening. All those episodes that I've had on my channel, every one of them became because I surrendered to the Lord. I said to myself, well, things haven't been working out too well this way, my way. What can I lose? So I tried the other way, and I'm still doing it like about 9 years later, you know? So it's working for me. I'm in touch with my Holy Ghost, and the Holy Ghost is not God's voice. The Ghost's voice, and it's important for you to recognize these voices. The Holy Ghost is the one that says, don't pick that up, it's hot. Watch it, there's ice on the floor here. Step away from the cliff because you get scared, and that's how he's telling you through here. It's an initial prompting of the Holy Ghost, and you have to listen. You have to listen to it. Now, people just say you have to listen to it. They don't tell you how to, right? But I'm going to tell you how to know. You hear the Holy Ghost the best when you're in a calm environment and you're in a very loving mood. You're thinking about something really loving, you know, nice. And that's when your Holy Ghost is going to suggest something to you. Listen to it. But you can also block that Holy Ghost out by anger or just with the day's events that you're not listening. You know, you're too wound up. You're doing stuff. So, um, Jesus Christ, when He speaks to you, He's a human. So when He speaks to you, He sounds like a human, right? And you hear Him through both ears, left and right channel. But I'm certain there's no sound going into my ears. I'm certain it's all happening in my head. But I hear a left and right channel, and which means I can pretty well tell where He is, right? And I'm sure He could do this any other way He wanted, but that's the way He came across to me when I was in heaven, right? And God, when He speaks, He comes across in a mono voice. There's no left and right channel. It just seems to be coming from everywhere, which is a really odd sensation because usually when something makes a sound, you can tell where oh, it's over, but not this time. I looked around, I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I got pretty good senses for human. Actually, I got hypersenses for human. Uh, so, yeah, God sounds like he's coming from everywhere and with an authoritative, booming voice. Jesus Christ, you sort of hear him in a left and right channel in your head, but he sounds like a human talking, right? And the Holy Ghost is more suggestive, initial promptings like you do this or do that, you know. And it's very important to listen to the Holy Ghost because if you don't, you won't get to Jesus. And if you don't get to Jesus, you never get to God. Now the reason why God spoke to me that day is a sequence of events happened like this. My Holy Ghost said to Jesus Christ, "Look what Roy's doing." And Jesus stops and looks in and says, "Yeah, my dad will want to see about this." So he tells his father, and his father looks in and he looks down at me and he says, "Did you do that for me?" And I said, "No, Lord, I did it because he's my fellow man and I love him." I got that question right, by the way. I was repaid over, well, it was pretty close to $1,400 with taxes. This electric motor for my bicycle and rim and everything, right? And I got it for free. I think I gave $4 at the store, and I got back almost $1,400. What's that, a thousandfold? Now, I'm not saying if you do good, God's gonna, give you something. But what I am saying is that I was in need then, and God doesn't know money; He just knows the object, right? Money doesn't come into it. It could have been a $3 part if you needed it, you know. So it's important to know the three voices. It really is, especially your Holy Ghost. And I've said this before, but I'll just say this one last time about the Holy Ghost, right? It's a lot like when you were a little baby and your father patted you on the butt and pushed you and said, "Go over to mommy," and you could just barely walk, right? So then and you go over to mom, right? You don't ask how fast, how far, why, you know. So that's what you got to do with your Holy Ghost. When your Holy Ghost gives you that at first initial prompting, go with it. Understand it. It's the Holy Ghost talking to you, and just go with it. Yeah, you watch. Things will happen in your life. So, okay. Uh, surrender, everybody. Just surrender. Let the Lord know that you can't do this by yourself, and nobody can. Who can? You know. So, okay. So, everybody, stay healthy. Blessings. Oh, and by the way, you have to pardon me for saying this, but would you please like and subscribe so that I can get more videos out to people? Thanks, people. I appreciate your tuning in. Bye bye.